Well, well. We are back with another episode of WIFERSATIONS, and I am fortunate, blessed, appreciative enough to have a beautiful friend of mine, a good sister, a wonderful lady, just amazing in her own right, with us today. As you know, I shared before that this series is just going to highlight us as women and wives, but just a reminder that we are valued. And it's not necessarily based on who's connected to us and all that what we do, but it's because God said we are. Amen. And so I'm privileged to be able to have one of my sister friends here with me to just share from her heart and to give us her story, and you will begin to see just how valuable she is. Hello, Miss Geneva Owens.
Hello, my sister.
As you can see, she is outside on her deck, and the wind is just blowing. But we actually just want to acknowledge that she is blessed and God graced them with their lives. They have been experiencing different hurricanes as they live in the Florida area, and we are thankful for every time they pull through it. And so I do not want to take it for granted, God's kindness towards you and how he has kept you. How are you?
I am wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Enjoying life, putting life first now. So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying all the things that God is blessing me and my husband and family with. Um, yeah, I'm just loving life.
So before we really get into it, as I said, I didn't want to just blow past the hurricane thing. How are you guys? Are you guys safe? Are you well? How's your community? How are you maneuvering through?
Um, it was a little scary at first, and the only reason why it was a little scary is because this time the hurricane was heading towards us. Usually we're on. Usually the hurricane is outside of us, but this time it was Mr. Milton
Right, right.
was heading towards us, and so I kind of got overwhelmed because I was watching the news all day,
Mm-hmm.
um, hearing about news reporters breaking down, crying, saying how bad Milton was going to be. Um, the fear, of my family, all my loved ones, all of y'all,
Yeah.
just checking on us, which we truly appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was just a lot. And so I had to stop. I had to talk to God and go to sleep peacefully.
Come on.
And God was like, I've been taking care of you all this time.
Mm-hmm.
So go to sleep. I got this. Tune out the noise. Hear my voice.
Mm-hmm.
And go to sleep. You guys are going to be good.
My God.
And so, with the 100 miles per hour wind,
Mm-hmm.
um, trees bending like they were going to break, uh, heavy rain, um, flooding, you know, uh, so ponds rising, oceans, hitting pavement. We were good. No damage. Oh, plenty of power outages.
Right, right, right.
Um, no power outage. So
What?
we withstand the storm. Is if we were in the boat uh, when Jesus was walking
Mm-hmm.
on water,
So you
or
starting
in the
already?
boat with the
Yes.
disciples.
Yes.
The storm was raging, and nothing happened.
To God be the
So,
glory.
and we feel really bad. Our heart is broken for the communities that
Hmm.
had alligators in their home,
Yes.
and I mean, just yeah, homes destroyed, uh, roofs taken off of buildings.
Hmm.
It was a lot of devastation, but we were safe.
To God be the glory.
To
I
God be the glory.
I'm grateful, and I just wanted you to hit on that because sometimes you can watch the news, but when you hear it personally from people who are actually there, it humanizes it, and
Hmm.
it's just more than just an event or a particular storm. These are people's lives, and so I'm grateful. But as you were sharing, your language hinted upon your faith. So I just want to kind of touch on that a bit, but start from the beginning. How did you find your faith, and how has your faith shaped you for who you are today?
I found my faith. Well, I would just say it became stronger
Mm-hmm.
during um, a devastation of being diagnosed with multiple myeloma cancer.
Mm.
So um, I've always been a woman that believed in God.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but as far as following, uh, trying to please Him, I was in and out. But then when I had that diagnosis, um, and He was there with me, even though it was like hell on earth
Mm-hmm.
that I went through. After that, He brought me through it. And so the things that happened to me during the time I was going through that journey, I knew it was God there
Right.
because one of the things that happened was I was blind. I went blind for a day.
Mm.
Now, and I had a mini stroke, which caused the blindness. And so I sat there when I couldn't see.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
it was
Right.
pitch dark. And because I had went through so much before that, and I was
Mm-hmm.
in the hospital at the time. And so I was losing my sight, and everyone else was panicking, the doctors and the nurses. I sat there and I didn't panic.
Okay.
And I did talk to God though. I was like, Lord, please give me my sight back.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. And then these little Christmas bulbs started
Mm.
appearing. And I
Okay.
love Christmas, and the Lord knows how much I love Christmas.
You love
So
any
He
kind of
gave me,
decorating. Anything that's beautiful, y'all. Let me say she love it. Anything.
oh, and
Mm.
so He gave me something to let me know that He was there.
Yeah.
He gave me something comforting that He know about me.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like these little Christmas bulbs that were just
Mm-hmm.
blinking, doo, 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 doo. And I'm like, okay, Lord, I see you. And I just sat there while everybody was panicking, asking me questions and stuff like that. So I lost my sight. It was going like this, slowly.
Mm-hmm.
And then when my sight came back, it came back the opposite way,
Wow.
slowly.
So that was just your time to connect back
Yep,
in a way
yep,
that
it
now you
was.
can never be disconnected.
Mm-mm. Nope, never.
Thank you
And
for
so I
that.
had brand new eyes.
Yeah.
You might
Oh,
as well say literally.
I see that. I
I
feel
had
it.
brand new eyes for God and
Yes.
life and life.
Okay. I
So
appreciate that.
yeah,
Like,
so
thank
that's
you for
what
sharing that.
changed and shaped me.
Yes, a new perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
So now you know you're on WIFERSATIONS, right? So we have to talk about your journey to wifehood. Tell me a little bit about yourself, and then let's roll into your family.
About myself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, um, of course, I'm a woman of God,
Right.
and uh, I'm a wife, a grandmother, great grandmother. Uh, I'm an entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
new entrepreneur, and
You're a serial entrepreneur.
yes,
Yes.
yes, yes, serial entrepreneur.
Yes. And that's a good thing.
And so, and loving what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loving this. This is a part of when I say that, that self-care and
Mm-hmm.
putting me first so
Mm.
I can be
Yes.
better for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had to find something that was going to bring me joy, and being able to travel and help other people start their travel agency
Mm-hmm.
so they can, create a new life for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's a blessing. So I'm letting God use me in that way. Uh, so yeah, it's me.
And your family.
Um, my husband, he has now partnered with me. So we're
Mm-hmm.
both in that business together.
Okay.
And that right there, tests our the strength that we have in our marriage,
Mm-hmm.
um, with respect and helping each other and growing together,
Mm-hmm.
being on the same path with our goals for our family. Um,
So how long have you
what else
guys
do I
been
know?
married? How long you been married?
Oh, for 24
Oh
years.
gosh. How did you meet?
Yep. We met in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he was, at the time, he was, well, they called him detective, but, they were, um, he would go into the grocery stores
Mm-hmm.
and be one of the detectives or security that you wouldn't know.
Right. Right. Right.
Undercover.
Right.
He was undercover,
Uh-huh.
there for shoplifters.
Oh
And
wow.
so he saw me and his other coworkers. He said that he told them, "Hey, I'm going after her."
Ooh.
He said I'm going after her.
Uh-huh.
So the he was still out in the parking garage,
Mm-hmm.
and they were he was yelling, trying to get my attention. I was like, you know,
Ah!
I didn't like when men yell from a distance.
Oh
You come and
gosh.
approach me. So yeah, I was something else, girl. Still is. But yeah, so then the second time I did that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did approach me and introduced himself, and I was looking at him, and I was like, so he's really handsome.
Yes.
And so I left the store, and then he drove. I think I was at a bus stop, and he came by the bus stop and stopped and said something to me, and I was looking like, and usually men in the car, you don't get out the car, and and so I recognized him, and he was like, "You want to ride?" And I was playing a little hard to get, and then
Uh-huh.
I went on and got in the car, and we were just talking. He took me home, and that's where we met, and
Wow.
I was just like, "Oh, that he's gonna be my husband." That's what I said. I said, he gonna be
Are
my
you
husband.
serious? So you
Mhm.
knew.
Yes, I knew because the things that he did, I mean, he was always opening the door for me. You know, we went out on dates and he would open the door for me. And when we go to restaurants, he'll pull the chair out. I mean, just a gentleman. He was just
Mm-hmm.
a gentleman from all the other guys that
Mm-hmm.
I had met.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he was really the first one that ever did that.
Mm-hmm. And it's
So,
something you say that, like, I'm listening to you say, oh no, he has to approach me. Oh no, you have to get out the car. Oh no. But then at the end, you're saying he's the first guy that ever did that.
hmm
So, how did you know, especially after experiencing other relationships, although you didn't have those qualities, you knew that that's what you wanted? What
hmm
put you in that mindset?
um, I guess I got tired. I got tired, and um, that's what I decided. I got tired of those
That's,
guys not doing that, and I've seen it before with my aunt and uncle, and
mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I said I like that. I said that is what I'm going to require from now on. And so that's when I had met him and he did it. And I was like, okay, okay, okay.
Wow.
He may be the one. He may just be the
Right.
one. And he was just smelling good and playing Luther and playing these other singers and, old school. And I
Go,
was
Mr.
like,
Owens.
my gosh. I was like,
he,
ooh,
he knew what to do, huh? He knew what to do.
mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow.
Smelling good too.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right,
and the
right.
way he was dressing, he always wore dress shoes, and I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, yeah, this is
This
it.
is him.
Mm-hmm.
This
This
is
is
him.
him.
So I honor that, and I know Mr. Owens. He is a kind man, and he
Thank
dotes
you.
on you,
He
honey,
is.
as he should, as
That's
he
right.
should.
As he
Um,
should be.
so in hearing this, um, I know that you are a little bit more seasoned. So you guys kind of had to blend the family, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How was that um initially? How's that going? And then how is your journey just as being together? You've made another move, you've moved to another state. How is that?
So when we met, I
Mhm.
had a son
Mhm.
he was 3 years old.
Mhm.
And so, in his mind, which he had told me later, he said he always didn't want to date someone that had children.
Mhm.
And so, when he met me and when he saw how I was raising my son by myself, that impressed him.
Wow.
He said that impressed him. And he's a preacher's kid.
Mhm.
So he said he had to go talk to his father about dating me with a child, how he
Mhm.
felt about it. And his, father, told him, if you love her, you got to love her child. They come
Yes.
as a package.
Yes.
If you're not going to do that, don't mess with her. Don't lead her on.
Mhm.
So he decided to go ahead and pursue. And so now, um, he's no stepdad. I
Of
mean,
course.
I think after, even before we got married, he took on my son, and he was like, I'm no stepdad. He said,
Yes.
I'm just gonna be his dad. And so that's what happened with that. And so you better not say he's a stepdad in front of him
Agree.
because
Right.
he's not.
Right.
He's not. He raised him since 3 years old, and now
Right.
my son is like, oh shoot, I forgot all the ages of my kids. I think he's 40 now. Yeah,
Wow.
I think he's 40. And they are just like this.
Yeah.
Just like this.
Yes.
And so, then we had our daughter together,
Mm-hmm.
and brothers, sisters, just like this. That's how that's what we require with our
Right.
children.
Right.
You're going to be this close, just
I
like your
totally,
children.
I totally get it.
I love my niece and nephews.
Yes, I
Yeah,
totally get it. I was just
close.
gonna say that I totally
hmm
get it.
So, so yeah. Now, what was your other question?
And I was just saying, like, how has that journey been of your marriage? Because you guys have been married a long time, so that means you've had like different seasons.
hmm
How's that gone? And even the season where you have when you experienced illness, how was that?
Um, when I went through that journey, my husband, uh, it kind of tore him up,
Mm-hmm.
and it strengthened his faith too.
Wow.
Just going through that, because at that time, me and my husband our marriage was kind of shaky.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of shaky at that time. That one season
Of
that
course.
you go through, that married couples go through, where you're like, oh my God, I just don't like you.
Talk
You
about
know,
it.
I love you, but I don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were going through that. And then that's when I found out, I got the diagnosis. So going through that journey and everything that we went through, that made him, because he was afraid he was going to lose me, because I was at that stage
Mm-hmm.
where my life could have been taken.
Okay.
So he thought, he was going to lose me. And then everything that we had went through just just went out the window.
Didn't
Like,
even matter.
didn't even matter. It small potatoes.
Right, right, right.
And so that brought us closer together. That brought us closer together. And he saw me, I would call it, no hair, just
Of
a
course.
straight bald.
Right.
Lost so much weight. I think I probably went down to 100 pounds.
My God.
Weak. Couldn't lift my arms. Just
Mm-hmm.
weak.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't even want him to see me like that. You know? So when you say your vows,
Yes.
in sickness and in health,
Mm-hmm.
we went through that test. And many men, sad to say,
Yeah.
cannot stick with their wife when they're sick. They don't want to deal with it. My
Right.
husband even had someone say to him, I know you love her, but I just don't see how you did it.
Ooh.
So, my husband, Mr. Nice, went out the window.
Right, right,
He had to check him big time.
right.
So there's many men that just would not have stuck with their wife after going through that. So we were tested in that area,
Mm-hmm.
and he was there for me. He was there for me.
My
And
God.
so I needed him.
Right,
I
right.
needed him so much, even though there were times I couldn't talk. He
Mm-hmm.
knew. He just came in the room and he just sat there. He was
Mm-hmm.
like, I know you can't talk right now. He said, but I'm here. Just so you know I'm here.
Right, 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 right.
And so that that meant the world to me.
My
That
God.
meant the world to me. And that brought us closer together. That changed everything with our marriage.
Wow.
Not that, we haven't gone back to, later on, I don't like it, I don't like it.
Of
But
course.
because that's what marriage is.
Mm-hmm.
You hang in there, even though you go through disagreements and things like that. We came up with 10 commandments for our marriage.
Come on.
So we're sticking to those 10 commandments that we
Right.
created for our marriage.
Right. I like how you say that for your marriage because
Mm-hmm.
I'm always particular in saying that like what works for you may not work for me, but then what
Exactly.
works for me, it may not work for you. And that's
Exactly.
okay.
And it's okay.
That's okay. That's okay. I just honor that. Give me two of your commandments. Just two of them.
Um,
Because I ain't trying to get all in your business.
well, one of them is that we must have at least one date night a
Mm,
week.
okay.
That we're not going to allow anything to take our date night away.
Mm-hmm.
And when we have our date night, we not husband and wife.
Ah,
You my man,
yes.
I'm your woman, just like
Come
it was
on.
before we got married. And yeah, so that's how we're gonna treat each other
And I know
on that
you. I
date
know you
night.
push that. I know
Yeah,
you
you
do.
my man, baby, and I'm your woman. I'm not your wife. I'm your woman tonight.
Right. Right.
So yes, so that's one, and then the other is just to honor and respect each other and to take care of each other's heart.
Mm.
So his heart, I'm responsible for that.
Mm-hmm.
In my heart, he's responsible for mine to make sure that it's um, watered and that it's planted in good ground,
Mm-hmm.
um, and that we won't break it,
Right.
that we won't break each other's heart. Even during a disagreement, we're going to
Yeah.
respectfully talk to one another
Right.
and solve the problem and not go to bed angry. Not go to bed angry at all because that gives the enemy
Right.
time to mess with our minds.
Right. 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 Right.
So, yeah. And obviously to keep God first.
Of
He's the
course.
head of our marriage.
Of
Yes.
course.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really good. Like, if anyone wants to take anything from this, I love the fact of the Ten Commandments for your own marriage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of course, making sure they line up with the will of God and what God
Yep.
has said, but
Mm-hmm.
you set the stage for your relationship. And
Right.
what's amazing is you can start that at any time. I don't care if you've been married a year, 5 years, 15 years, 25
Mm-hmm.
years, 35 years. You can start that today. So that
Yeah.
is a good nugget, Miss Geneva. One thing too I want to hit on because my series this go round of WIFERSATIONS is just to honor the value of the woman. So I know that we are wives and we are mothers and um, you have careers and you have things that you are responsible for. And yet, I find value, and I just want to know how you feel about this as well, and the curation of the friendships that I have that
Mm-hmm.
keeps me, and just honoring time with myself and constantly looking at, okay, uh, what works for you, Shelon? What do you like, Shelon? What don't you
Mm-hmm.
like anymore? What gives you that rush, that high? What settles you? Um, I don't know how you work out your value in your life. Are you able to share some things about how you value yourself and how you are reminded, of course, by God, but even
Mm-hmm.
with your own self, how valuable you are?
That question always get to me
Okay.
because
Okay.
because you do kind of put your well, at least I do
Yeah.
put your value in from what you do for other
The
people.
connection or the association.
Yeah, because it's
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, and I'm just being honest.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably something that I need to actually sit and think about,
Mm-hmm.
because my daughter and I was having a conversation, and she asked me, and I never really thought about it like this. She asked me, she said, "Mom," she said, "what?" Because we were thinking about back and forth, coming back to Milwaukee,
Right.
staying here, and I have. I've been like, I want to be by my friends,
Yes.
sisters, my family. I miss my other grandkids, my children, And she was like, "Mom," she said, "Do is being," she said, "is being with family. Do you feel real? How?" She said, "Do you feel real or valued or feel? Do you put your family above you and Dad
Mm.
going on with y'all life? Like, you have your family, and you love being around your family." And
Right.
she
Right.
said, and I love to, she said, "Mom, I honor you in that, because there's a lot of grandparents now that is like, I'm about to live my life.
Right. Right. Right.
I'm not about to be around family that much." And see, I love my children. I love being around my grandkids. I love being in their lives, going
Yes.
to their activities, all of that. Go to their school, all of that. I just feel really comfort in that. And so she was like, "Well," she said, "what about you and Dad? You and Dad now." She said, we have gone on with our lives, and whatever decisions we make, we're going to do it.
Right.
And so we may not be around living all in the same city and stuff." And so she said, "But you and Dad need to live your life now. This is the other half of your life."
My God.
So she's like, "Which one is priority over the other?"
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, I said, "Wow." She said, "So if you were on your deathbed and God
Mm-hmm.
was about to bring you home and you at the hospital in the bed, which one would you feel comfortable going to heaven, when you go to heaven, that you feel like, okay, no regrets?"
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, "Wow." I said, "If I had to say it right now, answer that question, it would be my family.
Right.
It would be my family.
Right.
Like, that is what I love being a part of."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, now maybe I do need to make that transition, but it's hard. It's hard to just think about me and Dad. Like, if she left, because my daughter and my 3-year-old grandson is here, which
Mm-hmm.
makes it a bit easier because I at least have one grandchild and
Right.
my
Right.
daughter is
Right.
here.
Right.
But if she decided to pick up and go back to Milwaukee,
Mm-hmm.
we stay here. I'm like, well, what would I do? What would I'm like, what would I do?
Yeah.
And now it's just me and my husband. Like, be looking at him like, what I do? What we gonna do? And my husband is like the opposite. He's like, hey, we need to be thinking about us. It's
It's
our
true.
time.
It's true,
It's
Miss
our
Geneva.
time to lead.
Yes.
And so I'm like, yeah, I know you're right. It's just a
Mm-hmm.
transitioning to that. So, yeah.
But God makes us nurturers and He blesses us. Like I
Hmm.
believe, I know that sometimes it's hard having children, raising children, and whatever comes with that. But it's such a love in having them. But I do get it. that we do have to find our own zone, because
Mhm.
I have two children that don't live near me. They live in different states, and I mean it's like they pick the furthest states. I'm like, they pick the furthest states. Um out west, and I'm like, I mean, that's not a hop, skip, and a jump. And sometimes I hear about some friends like they had family dinner, all their kids came over,
Yes.
and there's a part of me that just I get sad and I
Mhm.
feel some kind of way. Or even my children that live here in the city, I mean, they grown. Like my kids are grown, grown. They have their own lives. They have everything, which is what we pray for, what we
Mhm.
raise them for. Um, but sometimes it's like, man, when I was a little girl, all I ever dreamed about was being married, having my children, and Sunday dinners. And it
Mhm.
didn't
Yep.
work out that way. Yet, my life is still full. And my
Mhm.
husband always says this. And so I honor your man of God too for just hearing your heart, but yet speaking uh, life and new options for you. He
Yes.
always says that, but Shelon, they could not be here on earth.
Mhm.
He said, if you have to, you can find a way to go be with them, any of them.
Yep.
But there are people who have actually lost their children.
Right.
And then, but I love the empty nest part. Like, I don't want them in my house. And we've been empty nesting for a long time. So I love that part because I do believe in what Mr. Owens has said. Like, you have to nurture your own relationship and keep that going, because the truth be told, as you go into your twilight, that's when you guys need the strongest bond, because there's going to be so many things that happen, if the Lord should delay his coming for our lives. And you need to be able to stick together and support each other and help each other. So I get that, but I wanted you to know that I see you and I hear you, and that is not crazy that you feel for your family.
Mhm.
It's not, because I'm that person all day long. Like, and I love people and all of that. But if just to see my kids moving around and enjoy,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying? That's a privilege. So I honor that. But I know you. You love on you too.
Yeah, I
You
do.
do.
Yeah. Yeah,
How
I love on me.
how do you maintain, I know that you don't necessarily live with everyone, but how valuable are your sister friends and a village of your peers that are kind of moving in the same way that you're moving? How valuable is that to you?
Um, that's top priority also.
Mhm.
My sister friends are like my sisters.
Mhm.
And so we have a lot in common, including you.
Mhm.
Um, I love how you love on me, even from a distance.
Mhm.
And we have that bond.
Right.
We have that bond. We think alike.
Yeah.
Um, we love on each other, and we love our families. Um, we support each other. If I know
Right.
that if I
Right.
ever needed any of my friends, my
Right.
sisters, that they will be there in a snap. And what's crazy is, and even including you, because I may be in, like you caught me one time when I was just in a dark space,
Mhm.
and you called me. You called me. It was like you knew.
Mhm.
So, and even my other sisters do the same thing.
Mhm.
And so that connection is real. I know the Lord put y'all in my life.
Mhm.
And I won't accept anyone else. That I I don't need a bunch of friends. I need the right friends.
Come
I
on.
don't need a bunch. I don't care if it's two or three or
That's
one.
that's deep what you
I
just
don't
said.
need. I don't need. I don't need that. Nope. I don't need that. Maybe years ago I needed that,
Hmm.
but now, the genuine, authentic is what is important, and the real love. It's like I
Right.
could be myself
Right.
around my sisters.
Hmm.
I could be around. I could be myself around my sisters, and
Hmm.
that's how you should be able to feel with your best friends or your sisters. You should be able to be yourself
Right.
and give the support as you receive the support,
Right. 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 Right.
you know, and no competition
Right.
within our sistership. So, yeah, I love loving on my friends. So,
And we love you. We love you so much.
and
You
I
are.
miss y'all so much.
I
Oh my
miss y'all
God.
too.
Oh, I miss y'all.
Y- You know, for you, I can say, like, you a breath of fresh air.
Oh,
I
thank
love
you.
all of the extra that you are, cause I'm an extra person,
Yes, you
and so
are.
it's.
And I love it.
But I love all of that because sometimes you're not necessarily in that environment, or you can feel odd, or like people don't necessarily support it, and they don't have to. I don't mean in that sense, but you just feel whatever. So then once you get into that tribe where, girl, be extra and I'm gonna be
Hmm.
extra with you, or you know be authentic, have great conversations, and they don't have to be about people outside of the circle we having a conversation with, you know,
Hmm.
and just to find things that are in common. That's the most valuable. And actually, the way you connect with people is really a superpower that you have, because you
Yeah.
are such a listener. You may not think it, but when we're talking, you just like, you know, you are such a listener. So that is, for me, that's a
Hmm.
value that I take in you. I really do.
Thank
Um,
you.
is there anything else you want to leave with our WIFERSATIONS audience?
Um, just for just for you know the wives, um, to to love on yourself,
Right.
to make sure that you don't allow anyone in your marriage,
Mm-hmm.
you and whatever is going on in your marriage is between you and your husband. Y'all work it out. You work it out. You know, go to God about it. Um, Trust each other enough to know that you can get through it
That's good.
together.
That's good.
Um, don't give up so easily. Don't give up so easily.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, your husband, like I said with the dates, look at him. Don't look at him as a husband. Look at him as a boyfriend. And you be that girlfriend. So you dress up real cute and
Yes.
sexy for your husband's eyes.
Right.
And whatever it was that you did to get him, continue to do it to keep him,
Right.
and come up with new things to bring adventure to your marriage.
Right.
And just know that your husband is your best friend. Look at
Mm-hmm.
him as a best friend. Someone you can confide in,
Mm-hmm.
and love on yourself. And like I have to do, if you haven't done it already, that my sister had mentioned about what value, do you find in yourself? How do
Mm-hmm.
you value yourself? I have to think about that. And I'm just being
Mm-hmm.
honest, because I'm always helping someone else.
Right, right, right.
And I just don't look at myself really like I haven't gotten that deep yet. And
Mm-hmm.
I need to do that this weekend. So if you haven't done that, find value in yourself, but love on yourself because I do love on myself.
Mm-hmm.
I do love on myself.
You
So,
bless me. You bless me. I do want to add this one thing, Miss Geneva, according to what you have said, because to me, you just bless me. I want to share on this episode. It really doesn't matter how you start, it's how you're doing. I mean, we're all gonna finish. We just want to finish well. And so
hmm
it doesn't
yeah.
matter what season that you're in.
hmm
You always get to pivot. You always get to pivot. And you are such a great example of that with your healing, with making a new start somewhere else in another place, with your entrepreneurial endeavors. I'm just grateful. I'm honored to know you. And I
Oh,
think you are an inspiration. I really do. I really do. I think
thank
you're an
you.
inspiration. Um, did you want to share what your business is? And didn't weren't you a
Sure.
part of a book series too? I just want to make sure people know a
Um,
little bit of what you've done, just in case they kind of want to follow up with you.
yep, I was part of I'm a co-author
Mm-hmm.
and of two books, and uh, I got to think of the name of the books. It's been a while. Um,
Must be nice.
it's been a while. It's been a while
But
since
that's
I've
okay.
been
We
a
can find
co-author.
you on
It's
social
been a
media if we have
wonderful
to.
experience.
Right.
Yes, I will have them on social media for you.
Okay.
Uh, but my new business is I'm a travel advisor.
Okay.
So I started a travel agency and it's called Regal Skies Travel.
Mm-hmm.
And REGALSKYZ
Mm-hmm.
Travel. And so people can come on my website or they can call me.
Mm-hmm.
I can help you with your travel needs. And also to start a travel agency, if you want to start your own travel agency business,
Mm-hmm.
I can assist with that also. But I'm on Facebook. Regal Skies Travel Society is a black card membership.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have a black card, a real black card, you'll have one with me. You become a black card member in
Okay.
this society,
Okay.
and that is Regal Skies, SKYZ
Mm-hmm.
Travel Society. So that's a group, a private group that you can find me on Facebook. And if you want me to assist you with travel, if you want to travel, if you're going anywhere this year, next year, the year after, I'll be here to help you. And you're treated as a first class
Hey.
customer. So if you've never experienced first class on an airplane, you're going to experience first class with me
Okay.
as a customer. And so my website is GENEV as in Victor, AOWENS dot Intel Travel, INTELTRAVEL.com. My
Awesome.
email
Mm-hmm.
is Geneva Owens at Gmail. My phone number is 407 504 1547.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, friend.
Thank you so
We
much
saw, I
for
know.
having me.
Yes.
Oh, I just wanna, I need those hugs from you. You have the best hugs,
Thank
the best
you.
warm hugs.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh,
You
I
know I
miss
love my
that.
friends. All my friends are rich.
Oh,
All my
that's
friends
right.
are rich.
That's
Um,
right.
I'm just super grateful. Super, super grateful.